US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken urged both Israel and Hamas to finalize a hostage for ceasefire deal at the earliest. Blinken claimed 90% of the deal has been agreed upon by both parties, with just a few issues remaining. US continues its effort for a deal. Hamas accused the Joe Biden-led country for being blindly biased towards Israel. Hamas lead negotiator, Qatar-based Khalil al-Hayya, urged the US to press Israel for a truce in Gaza. Ukraine's parliament approves nomination of Andrei Sybiha as foreign minister. He replaces Dmytro Kuleba as part of the biggest government reshuffle since the Russian invasion in 2022. Ukrainian lawmakers voted on Thursday to appoint 9 new ministers, including the foreign minister and 2 deputy prime ministers. Foreign policy is unlikely to change much, with Zelensky playing the leading role in wartime foreign affairs. Andrei Sybiha, 49, is an experienced diplomat who does not have a prominent public profile, takes the reins of the foreign ministry. Father of the 14-year-old suspected in Appalachia school shooting was arrested by Georgia state officials. As per the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, 54-year-old Colin Gray was charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder and 8 counts of cruelty to children. While Colt Gray, 14, has been charged with 4 counts of felony murder and would be tried as an adult, officials said. The investigator said that the younger Gray used an AR platform-style weapon, and it is unclear exactly how the son came into possession of it. Joe Biden has called for urgent legislative action, including a ban on assault weapons and universal background checks after deadly school shooting in Georgia. Biden emphasized that more children were getting killed or dying from a gunshot wound than any other reason across the United States. German police has identified the gunman shot dead in Munich near the Israeli consulate as an 18-year-old Austrian national. The suspect's motive is still under investigation. However, the police labelled the shooting as a terrorist attack. The suspect was killed in an exchange of fire near the Israeli consulate and Nazi documentation center. Police was alerted about a person carrying a long-barreled weapon, leading to an exchange of gunfire between police and the suspect. The shooting took place on the anniversary of the 1972 attack at the Munich Olympics. Two months after elections, France finally has a prime minister. 73-year-old Michel Barnier, who was appointed by French President Emmanuel Macron, is European Union's former Brexit negotiator. Barnier led the EU's talks with Britain over its exit from the bloc. Marine Le Pen's far-right political party, National Rally, indicated that it would not immediately reject Barnier if he met certain conditions. Barnier delivered a speech next to outgoing Prime Minister Gabriel Attal during the handover ceremony at the Hotel Matagon in Paris. Anthony Blinken is on a visit to Haiti to solidify the UN-backed security mission in the Caribbean country ravaged by gang violence. Blinken held meetings with Haitian Prime Minister Gary Conille and the head of Presidential Council Edgar LeBlanc and called for renewing the United Nations mandate for an international security mission to help Haiti fight armed gangs. He added there were plans to convene a ministerial meeting at the UN General Assembly. He also announced a further $45 million humanitarian aid for Gaza. For Haiti. Democratic Republic of Congo received its first batch of Mpox vaccines, a plane carrying doses manufactured by Bavarian Nordic and donated by the European Union. Touchdown in the capital, Kinshasa, which health authorities hope will help curb an outbreak that has prompted the UN to declare a global public health emergency. Congo is the epicenter of the outbreak, which has spread to neighboring countries. A lack of vaccines in Africa has hampered efforts to stop the spread of the sometimes deadly disease. Hunter Biden, son of US President, has pleaded guilty to federal tax charges to avoid facing another criminal trial. This comes months after he was convicted in a separate gun case. Hunter Biden entered the surprise plea hours after jury selection was supposed to begin in federal court in Los Angeles. The case brought by the Justice Department accused Biden of a scheme to avoid paying at least $1.4 million in taxes. The judge in the case said that in pleading guilty, Biden faced a maximum penalty of 15 years in prison and fines ranging from $500,000 to $1 million. India's Enforcement Directorate, ED, is conducting raids at the house of the former principal of Kolkata's RG Kaur Medical College and Hospital, Sandeep Ghosh, and his associate Biplab Singh. Ghosh, Singh and two others were arrested by the CBI earlier this week on alleged graft and fraud charges and were remanded to the agency's custody until 10th of September. Ghosh has moved the Supreme Court against the High Court's order to transfer the probe into alleged irregularities at the institute to the CBI. The charges come amid a probe in the case of a junior doctor being raped and murdered in the hospital premises last month. This as CBI ruled out an instance of gang rape in the case earlier on Tuesday. European Climate Service Copernicus has reported that summer 2024 sweltered to Earth's hottest on record, making it even more likely that this year will end up as the warmest humanity has measured. As human-caused climate change with a temporary boost from El Nino keeps dialing up temperatures and extreme weather, Copernicus records go back to 1940, but American, British and Japanese records, which start in the mid-19th century, According to some scientists, the last decade has been the hottest since regular measurements were taken and likely in about 120,000 years. Firefighters succeeded on Wednesday in reducing the extent of a massive wildfire that blazed for 2 days and destroyed 20% of a forest in the Brazilian capital. Officials suspect that it may have been started by arsonists. The National Forests of Brasilia protects vital springs that provide 70% of the city's fresh water and is a conservation area that spans more than 21 square miles of woodland. The fire ignited during the dry season, allowing it to spread rapidly. Firefighters struggled to contain it before it could spread to nearby orchards. As per reports, North Korea's Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un may have executed at least 30 officials over response to floods and landslides. The report by South Korea's Chosun TV said that Kim called for strict punishment for loss of lives in the natural calamity. It also said that 20 to 30 cadres from flood-impacted areas were executed together last month. The officials were charged on the pretext of corruption and dereliction of duty, although the identities of those executed were not disclosed. Qualcomm has reportedly explored the possibility of acquiring portions of Intel's design business to boost the company's product portfolio. According to a report by Reuters, the mobile chip maker has examined acquiring different pieces of Intel, which is struggling to generate cash and looking to shed business units and sell off other assets. Intel's client PC design business is of significant interest to Qualcomm executives. Japanese household spending rose less than expected in July as consumers remained wary of loosening their purse strings in the face of higher prices, possibly complicating the central bank's plans to hike interest rates further in coming months. Earlier showed Japan's inflation-adjusted wages grew for the second straight month in July, primarily thanks to a bump in summertime bonuses. Base pay or regular pay marked the fastest pace of increase in nearly 32 years, reflecting results from this spring's labour management wage talks. But the government said the big test would be whether real wages continue rising in August and beyond, without the seasonal factor of summer bonuses. The US Transportation Department said it was opening an inquiry into the 4 largest US air carrier rewards and frequent flyer programs to ensure consumers do not face unfair, deceptive or anti-competitive practices. The department said it was reviewing how consumers are impacted by the devaluation of earned rewards, hidden or dynamic pricing, extra fee and reduced competition and choice. Customers often complain that airlines have been raising the bar to earn perks associated with their programs. The US Congress last year considered but did not mandate requiring airlines to provide 90 days notice before devaluing frequent flyer program points. Argentina's monthly inflation rate stood at 3.9% in August and is expected to close the year at an annualized rate of nearly 123%. Prices are seen rising by another 3.5% in September, slowing down after a surge that followed deep spending cuts as well as the devaluation of the peso currency enacted by Libertarian President Javier Milei in a bid to reduce sky-high inflation. YouTube has taken down the Tenet Media channel and 4 channels operated by Tenet owner Lauren Chen. Following an indictment from the US Department of Justice, the termination comes amid money laundering charges against 2 employees of RT, a Russian state media network. It is alleged that RT hired an unnamed American company to produce online content to influence the presidential election. Though the company is not named in the indictment, details provided in court filings match up with Tenet Media, which is a Nashville-based company that has posted nearly 2,000 videos to YouTube in less than a year. A European Union official has suggested that Google's decision to block Enel's e-mobility app called Juice Pass from its Android Auto platform could violate competition laws. Juice Pass is a mobile application that helps electric vehicle drivers locate and manage charging stations. Officials argue that by blocking third-party apps like Juice Pass, Google may be abusing its dominant market position, which could harm consumers by reducing competition. Google had initially cited security concerns as the lack of a specific template as reasons for the block. This year, in July, a hacking group named Null Bulge leaked thousands of Disney's internal messaging channels. At the time, not much was known about the severity of the cyber attack, but now it has been discovered that the leaked data included financial and strategy information, as well as personal information or some staff and customers. Some of the data contained passport numbers, visa details, addresses, and places of birth of Disney Cruise Line staff, while another spreadsheet had names, addresses, and phone numbers of some of the Disney Cruise Line passengers. According to a study conducted by US-based George Mason University, robots can lie and deceive just like humans. Researchers discovered that robots can deceive humans in 3 scenarios. 1. External state deceptions. 2. Hidden state deceptions. And 3. Superficial state deceptions. During the study in the external state deception scenario, a robot working as a caretaker for a woman with Alzheimer's lied that her late husband will be home soon. In the hidden state deception scenario, a robot housekeeper secretly filmed a woman. And lastly, in the superficial state deception scenario, a robot working in a shop lied about feeling pain while moving furniture.